Thank you, everyone. Coach Farley will just go ahead and take questions. Thanks for coming.
Go ahead.
Did this go about the way you thought it would once you had a chance to sit down and look at Central State a little bit?
You know, it did after the initial kickoff, and you know, when they kicked it off and got the ball, it kind of threw a wrench in the plan a little bit when, you know, they made that first play. You didn't know what else they had in store to try to win this game. So, you know, you're trying to anticipate trickery, but they never really came back to anything else. And, you know, then we started making plays, and once we got ahead, I think it kind of went as planned.
Mark, is it easier to gauge your team on playing an opponent like today as opposed to last week, or was last week easier?
Oh, much. Last week's football game, you find out about your football team in games like that. This one was more. The good thing about this game is our hope was to get out there, number one, get the win, but get our second unit a lot of plays, because some of those players are going to be starters here within the next couple of weeks, and they need to get a lot of reps that maybe they didn't get at the Wisconsin game. So it was important for that, and I think we accomplished that.
Maybe you found a new running back in Lieberkowski?
You know what? That's the hardest I've seen Austin run since he got here. I mean, that's what he ran in high school, and then he got hurt in his first initial camp with us, and it was good to see him run. He just went in there and barreled into the line and did a nice job. So that was really nice to see.
So what are some things that you want to work on before facing the Hawkeyes now?
The same things we always do. It's getting ready for the next game. You know, I see you're still wearing a Hawkeye shirt, so
my alma mater.
So, but at the same time, it's you know, we'll get ready for them on Monday morning.
Talk a little bit about your defense. It looked good against a Big Ten opponent and good against a Division II opponent. What's been the key there?
Well, I think, as it turns out, it looks like we had a good two-a-day camp, the way things, and the players really put a lot of effort in that, because we seem to be playing with good rhythm at this time of the year, but we can get so much better. I wasn't real pleased with that first half. We had penalties, we had turnovers tonight, things that we did not do at Wisconsin, we did tonight. So I'm not pleased with how we performed the way we should have performed. So, but you know, the score was good and everything turned out great in the end. But ultimately, we got another Big Ten opponent coming up, so we've got to work it out again.
Mark, congratulations on your 100th career victory. Any thoughts on reaching that milestone?
You know, it never hit home, and probably hasn't, but you know, until a couple guys that have been here, when Mario Verduzco comes up and says, you know, 100 wins, and Rick Nelson, and you know, your assistant coaches come up, and you know, I think the coaches know what the meaning of the number is, and then when your players come up and you know, sharing that, it's, you know, you start to think about the number. I really haven't thought about it a lot, but it's a lot of good players, a lot of good coaches, and you know, we got a good staff now, but you go back and look at the three coaches that have been here for all 100 wins with Bill Solomon, Mario Verduzco, and Rick Nelson. That's pretty cool too, because they're part of every one of them.
Did the players do anything special for you with your 100th win?
They won the game.
I mean, in the locker room. In the locker room.
No, we do our normal thing. You know, we're just going to the next game now and trying to get ready, and that's what I like about, you know, coaching here. You do what you're supposed to do, and then you enjoy it and get busy and get ready to go on to the next game. And this next game is against Iowa now. So,
Coach, we saw all three quarterbacks tonight. Assess their play if you could.
I think you know, I think you see Cole Morgan. You know, has good. He's got good skills. He reads the field well, and he puts some nice balls in there for some deep balls for us. Brett really made some nice catches for him. But you know, Jared came out. It was nice to get him a lot of reps, because he hasn't got a chance to really get out there and throw, and he's really got a great arm. And it was especially nice too to see you know, to get Steven out there and let him take some snaps. And I don't know if he got a chance to throw the ball, but at the same time, he got a lot of reps in that last scrimmage for us. So those things all pay dividends as this season unfolds, because the next 3 weeks for us are really strong. So things will happen in those next 3 weeks that, you know, we'll need those extra players, because they'll become factors in wins and losses.
Mark, you had the really tough game at Wisconsin and a breather today. How was the script played out in terms of getting ready to go play in Iowa City next week? Has it turned out okay for you? It's
turned out okay. We came out of this game healthy. That was the first thing we wanted to do. Most of our first unit was out at halftime, so that was nice to get them off the field. And because I think we're still recovering, we weren't at 100% today, coming back off the Wisconsin game. So this will give us a chance to get our legs back a little bit more this week. And yet we've got playing our twos, if you will, that whole second half. I mean, our defensive line, that second unit played a lot of Wisconsin, but they got a lot of extra reps there in that second half, and so that's important. And I look at DeAndre Hall at safety playing for us. I mean, he needed to get a lot of reps. Kilfoy needed to get reps. I mean, those are two true freshmen that were playing, and they will be on the field as starters before the season's out just because of injuries and things that will happen. So that was good, so it played out the way I'd hoped that way.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the Iowa State game today? And if so, what did you think?
I did not watch any. They came report the scores to me, you know, as it was unfolding a little bit. But really, I hate looking at the next opponent because I don't think we do justice to the one we're here, and I can't afford to not look at the opponent we're going to play. So I was working on this one all the way to the game time, but there's no question people were watching the scores and seeing what happened down, you know, as that game unfolded.
How do you feel?
Sorry.
How do you feel about going to Iowa City? Near miss last time. You know, what are your preliminary thoughts about that game?
Preliminary, I mean, it's a different feeling now that we've been to Wisconsin. I mean, we've been to a game with that caliber to it. So now it does become, and we've been to Iowa, you know, in recent years with a similar football team. A lot of these guys have been there, so I just think the tone of playing them is maybe a little bit different. It's more like we're more in tune of how we're playing, even if it is against Iowa right now. I really believe that. We're kind of what I say about every team. We're getting ready for Youngstown and North Dakota State. Those are the two that I've been watching. And, you know, it's just that Iowa's the next game, but Youngstown and North Dakota State are the two that I'm most concerned about as we start to get into the season, because those will be critical games for us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.